How you going, guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So it's been long overdue, and today's the day we're going to start making space in the workshop. We recently got a brand new 40-foot shipping container. It's been positioned out in the yard to where it's now going to live. That shipping container is going to be solely storage of our consumables that we use here in the workshop. All of our consumables and materials are currently in my first shipping container and here in the workshop. So I'd like to condense them down into one container. Room is one of those things that I'm running out of very, very quickly with how we are expanding. It's time now to start making space and getting rid of I don't need. So the plan is, once I do empty my first shipping container into my brand new one, it will then be slid back into place opposite our new shipping container, about 40 foot between them, and we will be stringing an igloo between the two for an outdoor fabrication area. Unfortunately, I can't move that container while it's full of materials and consumables. It's far too heavy for anything I have here to move it. I do need to sort out what's in there, so it's a perfect time to empty one into another and make some more space by sorting out the things I've collected over the years. So first up, stage one of what we need to do is we need to get our shelving set up in our new 40-foot container. Righto guys, so we have 10 meters worth of heavy duty shelving to go down either side of the container. So that'll give us enough room down the inside of the two shelves to walk through with a larger object without running into something. So the issues with the first container, its shelving units are 900 deep, and we could only put one in that container down one side, because if we were trying to put two 900mm shelves in there, you wouldn't have enough room to walk between them. So we're going to go to two 600mm wide shelves, which will give us enough room to walk down the inside nice and comfortable. That's really going to maximize our storage space, and I know the containers are 12 meters long and we have 10 meters of shelves. That's because I do want one end of the container a little bit more open, because there will be a welder and a little bit of a workshop set up in the front of this container for the outside fabrication area. In the way of shelving, we have 12 uprights. They're 600 wide, 2400 tall. We have 80 cross beams. Each shelf level has 2 beams, so we'll end up with 40 shelves in total. We also have 40 sheets of 19mm or 3/4 inch chipboard, and that's going to be the shelves. I also have some supports to go underneath those just so they can take a little bit more weight. good. Righto guys, so all the shelving's now been installed into the container. So we have 5 bays on each side, 4 levels of shelves in each bay. So that's a total of 40 shelves. Each shelf has a 300 kilo weight rating on it. That's only if you've got the supports underneath the shelves. Each bay will handle 1200 kilo. One thing I am going to do, I am going to put some supports between all the uprights, all the way down the containers, just to support them from falling in on themselves. All the uprights, we bought them new from the supplier. All the beams were second-hand. Wasn't any point buying brand new beams. These are still in really good condition. Saved a bit of money there. All the timbers, I think there was about 10 all up that was second-hand, and the rest were brand new, and all the shelf supports were brand new. I'm really happy with this. It took about an hour and a half to put all this together. No real dramas, everything went really smoothly. Right, so that's the easy bit done. The hard bit is going to be emptying our first container and sorting it all and putting it into our new container. I'm going to make a start on that nightmare today. Righto guys, so we've completed emptying out this container. We've got all our stuff stored in our new container now. It was a really good opportunity to go through the stuff I've collected over the years and throw a little bit of it in the scrap bin. I've also got a couple of pallets set aside of other materials and bits and pieces that'll be going to a couple of YouTubers here in Australia. Rather than scrap it, we'll give it to them. They'll get a lot of good use out of the materials I'm not going to use anymore. So the next part of the job is I need to clear out the yard space so I can then move this container back to where it's going to live. So you might have seen these machines hiding in the background in a few shots. I've been moving them around the yard a few times. These machines are inclinable power presses, also known as thumpers. The largest machine we have is the John Hine 206A. So it is a 60-ton capacity, weighs about 3.5 ton. The second biggest machine is the Goitz & Sons 40C, which is a 40-ton hit power. The smallest John Hine we have is a 104A. There's not a great deal of information out there on that particular size machine, but I'm going to assume it's going to be between 15 to 20 ton capacity. The one I'm leaning on was made in Paris. It's the less desirable out of the 4 because it's not Australian made, it is a foreign built machine, so I will be moving it on in the near future. So the machines got given to me by a friend of mine because they were destined for the scrap heap. Main reason I grabbed them was because 3 of these were made here in Australia. So we have the John Hine machines, which were made in Sydney, New South Wales, and the Goitz & Sons machine that was made in Melbourne. One of our viewers, Mark Fryer, his great-great-grandfather was one of the original founders of Goitz & Sons in Melbourne in, I believe, early 1900s. He has reached out to us and sort of wondered what the hell I was doing with them. The reason I have them They're an Australian icon, they were built here, and I can't see them go to the scrap heap. So that's why I've got them here. Sooner or later, they will wind up in the workshop. They will never be used for what they're intended for. It's just that they are Australian history.
Yeah.
Righto guys, so all of that went to plan. We got the container back in the place it needs to be at. So in order for the igloo to fit correctly, you need to have the spacing between the two containers correct. If you're slightly out, the igloo won't fit. So we did measure out the 40 feet from the first container to this one, ready for when the igloo turns up. We also use some, they're a plastic packing block we got from our local hardware store. Each block can take X amount of tons, so there's no issues with the weight that we put inside the containers actually bursting them or breaking them. Packers also serve another purpose, not only to level out the containers because the ground is so uneven over here, it's also going to elevate the container off the ground because any moisture trapped underneath them will end up rusting out the floors. So all the stuff that I have moved in order to do what I've done today, I now have to bring all that back and put it into a semi-organized fashion, and while I'm bringing it back I am going to go through a lot of it and see if there's anything in amongst it that I don't need or I can move on to someone else.
Wait. Where you going? Okay. What's over there? What's all this? Piggy. Hey.
What you doing? This is for homie.
Sniff, sniff, sniff.
Hey, calm down. Working on it.
Oh, what is this? Hang on. Ben Brown from Texas.
Oh.
What's that?
What that?
Get it, get it.
You get it. What is it? You get it. Get it. You get it. Righto guys, so we've got our yard sorted out now. We've got the container in the position it's going to be in. We're ready to start unloading everything from the workshop pallet racking out into the container. I'm not going to sort it out as I go because it's been a very long weekend and I just need to make the room in order to expand the workshop. So what we have here are two vintage adding machines. So these were long before the calculator was invented. I've been holding onto these for a couple of years now, and I'm holding onto them for a friend of mine who wants to put them into his collection. There's also another something up there, which we'll show you in a minute, which is something else I'm holding on to him. So this is the other piece of history that I've been hanging on to for a friend of mine. This grinder, pedestal grinder, came out of a workshop not far from here, and I believe this one actually ran from a drive shaft that ran through the roof, and a flat belt came down to power the grinder. After it was removed out of that workshop and it got brought up to where I got it from, they had fitted a motor to the floor and driven it off an electric motor. Very old, not exactly sure its era, but if it ran from a big drive shaft in the roof, it's going to be pretty old. So the same guy that's getting the old calculators, the old adding machines, he's also getting this. He will end up restoring it and setting it up in his collection. He's got a workshop of vintage machinery. So he will set it up, and it probably will never ever work ever again, but it's going to look like it works. And it's pretty much just going to be something he can sit back and enjoy. So what we have here is a Durst pedestal grinder. These are an Australian-made machine, built in Sydney. Don't believe they're around anymore. This is just another one of those Australian-made pieces of equipment, and when I saw it, I didn't want to see it go in the scrap bin, so I had to have it. I do plan to put this into service, but I would like to sandblast this down and repaint everything. New wheels, because I don't know what age the wheels are on it. Each wheel is 50mm in width, but they can be upgraded to a 75mm wide wheel or a 3-inch wheel. So I do have other benchtop grinders that I use for sharpening drill bits and stuff like that, but none of them are anywhere near this size, and the wheels you can buy for the grinders I currently use aren't wide enough for sharpening some of our bigger drill bits. Once this thing gets restored and put into service, it's just going to be one of those machines you enjoy using because of its sheer size and what you can do with it. Righto guys, so part of our whole workshop expansion is we need to make some room down this end of the workshop. We have sold our LZMT machine. This has been a really fantastic lathe. It's done everything we needed it to do. Ever since I've had the Shanyang running, this hasn't actually been used, so there's no point me hanging onto it, so it's time to move it on to someone who can use it. The machine doesn't need to move far in order for the customer to pick it up from the doorway. So what I need to do, I need to jack up that end of the machine. I've got a set of skates that I have made that won't fail to act as a dolly, and then I will use the yard crane and a bar through the bed of the machine to lift it up and then walk it around the other lathes and put it at the doorway. Righto, so that was nice and easy to move. Now that we've got all this space here in the middle of the machining area, I am going to leave it vacant at the moment. I might put a workbench in there temporarily for when I'm doing machining. I am going to be moving the other 3 lathes in the not too distant future because I've never been 100% happy with how the workshop is laid out. But for the time being, I'm just going to leave things how they are. Come on. Sit. You stay. Sit. You stay. You stay. Righto guys, so it's been a few weeks since our LZMT lathe had found a new home, so it has now been moved. In that time we did manage to clear all of the pallet racking in the workshop and shift the pallet racks over, so we gained 120 square meters of workshop space. So as you can see, the space I have gained, I have already started using it for storage, and the reason for that, there's just been so much rain around, I could not leave that stuff outside to get wet. And our container shelter also arrives. So that is a 40 by 40 foot igloo, and it also has an end wall to block off the backside from wind and stuff like that coming through for our outside boiler making area. So that's our workshop expansion for now. It has taken far longer than I had expected or hoped it to, and the reason for that is we've been doing the moving of everything and shuffling of the workshop in my free time, which is only on a Saturday or a Sunday. So it is taking a long time, and the rain we've had in the area lately has definitely slowed us down. In the next workshop update, we will be putting up the container shelter, and I will be shuffling the machines around the workshop, mainly the lathe area, and I have one machine that needs to go to the scrap bin. So keep an eye out for workshop update number 2. Thanks for watching. How you going guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So today, fuck, I've already lost it.
Oh my god.
Right, so today is the, oh, fuck. So today is, fuck.
Oh my god.
So it's time for us to start making space here in the workshop for what? What are we doing? Ready?
Yep.
Wait, where am I starting from? Yep, ready?
Yep.
Right, and also our shipping fuck. And our 40, and our container dome turned up. So that is a 40 by 40 foot container dome.
Oh my god.
Righto guys, so fuck up. We'll end up rusting out the floors.
Good timing. Bum old train.
Fucking train. Fuck off train. So we've got 12 uprights. Shut up. So we've got 12 uprights.
Every time you talk, it's gonna do that.
Yeah. So the first shut up, you fucking fuck.
That's the money. Skills.
So how do you want the opposite way?
Opposite. Yeah.
Fuck your OCD. Fucking hell. Well, go away and I will
There,
fucking do this.
like that.
Yes. And a big fish.
Hello. Hello. What you doing? What you doing? Okay, go. Wait. Where you going? Hi.
Stay. Holmes, lay down. You ready? Watch him.
Close enough.
You get it. We're playing.
Come on.